At that time, generally from Taruni's dad, we had some old vehicle at one time or another, and at that time we had a panel truck. So Kirtananda Maharaj, he took everyone except us to Boston, because Srila Prabhupada was returning from that first visit to London. And everything, and we're all thinking, we're in New Vrindaban, but we're thinking London, Montreal, San Francisco, particularly London. Very exciting that year. So there were 8 of us at New Vrindaban, and after that 10 days, I was outside. We were outside, all of us, as you know, here at New Vrindaban. You don't live inside. You go inside to sleep, and it may be pretty meager. But all of a sudden, I hear "Haribol," and I look around the horseshoe bend there, and I can see coming up the road. It was like Siberia. Snow all winter, never went away. And 32 people was the total number of us when they all came back. They had dropped Dwarkadish. They had wrecked the van. I forget how they got back, but they had wrecked the truck. Kirtananda was driving. When we would go on road show, I was generally the driver, and Krishna saved me and everybody else more than once. I remember being so tired sometimes I was eyeballing doorways. I wanted to crawl in like a hobo and just go to sleep. But yeah, they laid the van on its side. Dwarkadish fell out the back doors. He didn't get hurt. And of course, one time we left him in Pittsburgh. We got halfway back from Sankirtan party, and somebody said, "Where's Dwarkadish?" So we turned around, and he had met up with the city police who had taken him to the station, gave him an ice cream cone. But yeah, 32 people came back.
How many were there before they left?
8 of us. There was 8 of us. So now there's a grand total of 32. So 24 more people came back. One young brahmachari, remember, a blonde-haired boy, who subsequently turned out to like be the sort of fellow he would get into other people's things and steal their books and stuff and add them to his collection. But a lot of liveliness. Very, very cold winter, so all the women slept downstairs by the barrel stove. And I think there was a mattress or 2, right? There was maybe 1 mattress. I think even Sachyabama came in from the chicken coop and slept in there.
They didn't want to have their baby. They didn't want to wait.
Oh, they didn't come back till sometime later. That's right. And all the men slept upstairs, and poor Kendra, age 6, he was the one that pretty much took a full bath. So we would stand him in a wash tub and pour cold water on his poor little self. And the rest of us, everyone was pretty much sponge bath. But I don't know, it was all kind of incidents, but we just did what we did. Of course, nobody hardly was as much as 30 years old. And we milked the cows by hand in the bank barn. And there were times when we had to take the animals, while everyone was gone, I had to take the animals down to the stream. There was no getting unfrozen water. I had to take them down to the running stream. So,
Yeah. How old was Dwarkadish around this time?
Dwarkadish was 6 in 1969.
And do you remember when he used to get water? Can you say about that? How he would take the bucket? They would send him for water down to the horseshoe bend,
Mm-hmm.
where it would come out of the hill, and then you'd have to take like 5 steps because he was so little he couldn't carry his bucket.
Yeah, Dwarkadish was made to be the water boy with these heavy buckets. And one time I went to evening arti, I was wearing a clean pair of dark wool trousers and a white shirt, and Kirtananda looked at me and he said, "Oh, it's so nice someone's dressed up for arti." But the deity room was this little closet on the east wall, and they were facing west. And the stairs were pie-shaped treads, and they turned at the bottom of the stairs at the time. And Bamadev, did you add that porch on when you put the roof on? Or was that there?
I had to support it. It was falling down.
So, Yeah, when we first went there, when we got our first cow, Kalia? Commodore. For heaven's sakes. But I carried Brisham, the soon-to-be ox, on my shoulders up that 2-mile road. And Commodore got ahead of us, because she was very high-spirited, big eyes. She was like on alert all the time, that cow. And as soon as she perceived that she could no longer see her calf, she bolted and ran back down the road. So we had to do it all over again. So there was a lot of incidents like that. Taking lumber up one time, I agree, we got impetuous. I'm going to get this lumber up there. And he laid this rented flatbed straight job over in the creek bed. And we got the truck uprighted and reloaded the lumber. Got it. Lawrence Snyder permitted us to take the truck up across his property. But now the truck's unloaded, we got to get it back down, and he wouldn't let us go back across his property. So we took it down the road, and again, carried on that he was taking the responsibility to drive the truck. It wasn't working. Anyway, I took a turn. I got around that hairpin bend. It's still there. You still go around it. You did yesterday. And I had the inside tires on the outside log. We just made it, or it would have been my fault. But yeah, so many adventures. Coming back from Sangertown one time, dark as night. Sometimes it would remind me of that painting in Krishna book, where, what is it? Was with the, not Agasura, but where all the stars are in the sky, and all the cowherd boys are around Krishna. And often the whole night in New Vrindaban always reminded me of that picture, particularly on that narrow road there. And I remember one night, pitch black, come back from Pittsburgh, Sangertown, and Satyabhama, she walked right out of her boots. The rest of us didn't know it until the next day. I don't think we ever found the boots. we lived in those green and yellow rubber boots. So, I don't know, so many
Maybe that's
stories.
enough. There's other things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.